Hello everyone and welcome back to Beef Reacts. Today, we're checking out Death Battle. Martian Manhunter versus the Silver Surfer. Two characters I know fuck all about. You know what's funny? I thought to myself the other day, because I was watching some Justice League clips. I said, I wish I knew more about the Martian Manhunter. I wish I knew anything about him, because I hear he's cool, but I have no idea. Who do I think wins this off the bat? Silver Surfer, because I think Silver Surfer is cool. I used to have Silver Surfer comics. Does not mean I know anything about him. I just think he's cool, and I know when Spider-Man had Silver Surfer energy, he punched the Hulk into orbit. So, also cool.
Episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Netflix's One Piece and Shady Rays.
How? How'd they get One Piece to sponsor it? How do I get One Piece to sponsor me?
Martian Manhunter, DC Space Ranger.
The Silver Surfer, Marvel's...
What the fuck is the difference between the space cops that are fucking the Green Lanterns and a space ranger?
No love the spaceways.
The depths of space hold secrets beyond our comprehension.
Sure.
But these sage superheroes have seen more of it than any of us could ever hope to.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Off rips Silver Surfer.
For as long as mankind has looked upon the night sky, the stars have beckoned the brave to search the unknown and explore its endless wonders.
Like Dr. Saul Erdell, who's kind of a doctor in the same way Dr. Pepper is a doctor. This guy's got no...
Dr. Pepper has 32 distinct flavors that all mix together to make sure every single time you drink it is a unique tasting experience, which is why whenever somebody gets high, it's delicious.
No formal education, but that didn't stop him from messing around with some ancient tech he stumbled upon.
He was desperate to live out his boyhood dreams of exploring the cosmos.
King.
So with the tech's advanced capabilities, Erdell created a machine that would bring the cosmos to him.
He pointed the machine at Mars, pushed a button, and hoped for the best. And it worked! Erdell summoned a real-life Martian right before his very eyes. So remember, kids, when in doubt, just push buttons. Never fails.
The mysterious and powerful...
That's never not worked. That's never not worked once in the course of human history. Has just hitting a button not worked.
Powerful alien known as John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, immediately started using his incredible powers in front of the Doctor, like mind reading and shape-shifting.
Which was just the tip of Erdell's discoveries. Turns out, Martians have complete control over their bodies and can transform into practically anything, like a freaking dragon, an exact duplicate of Wonder Woman down to her central nervous system, or even a totally generic green monster that loves choco cookies.
They can also shoot lasers from their eyes, fire psionic blasts, turn invisible, and phase through anything. Even Green Lantern constructs and force fields that Superman couldn't get through.
On top of all that, they've got a crazy healing factor. John has regenerated back from a single
This is just fucking Martians can do this shit? Because that's insane. We should never, ever in a billion years invade Mars in the Justice League then, if they can just do this shit.
Tiny pieces, or even a puddle of goo.
This display of awe-inspiring power overwhelmed Dr. Erdell's poor human heart and caused him to die in the Martian's arms.
Damn! Well, at least he accomplished his goal before he bit the red dust, right? Anyway, John used his shape-shifting abilities to hide amongst his new world by assuming the identity of a recently deceased detective named John Jones. God, what a crazy coincidence, comic book writer, you clever man.
Detective John Jones lived...
John Jones, 6'7", 200 centimeters, 300 pounds. Damn! Martian police detective, founding member of Justice League of America, likes Choco's cookies a lot.
A double life on Earth for many years, solving cases and helping as many people as he could from the shadows. But eventually, he stepped out, revealing himself to the world, and helped found the Justice League of America.
And John definitely holds his own in the supergroup. He once pulled the Earth alongside Wonder Woman and Superman, who has stated that of all the beings in the known universe, he would be afraid to fight John.
And he should be afraid. Superman wouldn't be the first Kryptonian John has gone toe-to-toe with. He's manhandled Ultraman, who's basically evil Superman from another universe, and Superboy Prime, who can shatter reality with his punches, and is also evil Superman from another universe.
They just do Superman evil a lot because he's just the unkillable, evil Superman is such a common thing that it makes My Adventures with Superman so much more special because it stands out as a fucking beacon. Like, damn, just make Superman fucking cool again, please. Stop making him this disastrous, sad fucking being. Just let him be awesome. Let him be dope. Let him be fucking Superman. The man raised by two good-hearted, corn belt fucking Americans who gives a shit about other people. God fucking, I'm sorry everyone. It's just, I hate the evil Superman trope. It's just so stupid and it's like rarely ever fucking done well. Rarely is it done well. And I'd argue in Injustice it was done okay. And that's not me trying to be contrarian. It's just like like literally if you read Kingdom Come and then like look at Injustice, watch Injustice, read Injustice, the same fucking thing basically happens in Kingdom Come as it does in Injustice. And in one, Superman lets the world do what it needs to do, and the other, Superman becomes an evil tyrant. Like, it's just, I hate it.
A blast from Asmodel, the king angel from a literal army of heaven. He's held his own against Darkseid, the manifestation.
Survived the Haramir's curse, elected leader of Mars twice? Mars 2. Consistently goes toe-to-toe with Superman, flew from Mars to the sun, regenerated from atomic levels of destruction, helped pull the Earth, defeated Asmodo, Brett, Marshall, and Matt Alafek. And, guys, here's the thing. I think he wins.
Station of tyranny in the DC universe. And he's fast enough to catch up to Supergirl and Superman, who we know flies so fast he can burst the bonds of infinity. So basically, he's just as strong and just as fast as a bunch of crazy gods and demons.
While Jean's strength and speed are obviously very impressive, it's also no secret that his greatest asset is his mind. He's one of the most powerful telepaths in all of the DC universe.
He reads minds, duh, but he can also shut them down altogether. And he once made Mr. Plexiglass, Mr. Mixed Pickles,
The God of Chaos.
F your name, that's whatever. Anyway, he got him to subconsciously say his own name backwards, which God only knows because I can't say it forwards, which canceled out his powers.
His psychic defenses were strong enough to protect the Justice League against a worldwide telepathic attack, and his ability to sense people's feelings is so strong, he can feel every sentient being in the entire galaxy.
Oh, so he's just an... Bro, listen. Alright, I know this girl on fucking some Discord somewhere who can feel the feelings of every being in the universe. So you know what? That's not even... She's an empath, okay? Alright? I don't think you guys get it at home. She's a fucking empath, and because she's an empath, she can feel everything. She can feel what the planet Mars is feeling right now. True story. True quote. She's an empath. It's like, at what point did people make the decision that just being empathetic is a superpower? Like, damn. I feel like I've known so many people in my life that desperately wanted to be special, and so they just made shit up rather than just seeing how they're unique and special. It's sad.
And he once outthought Perpetua from the Omniverse. Who's
Oh.
that, you ask? Oh, just the frickin' creator of the entire multiverse. She's basically the god of everything.
Jean needed to connect
Oh.
his consciousness with everyone on Earth before Perpetua could catch up. He pulled this off by using his mental abilities within the span of Planck time, literally the smallest possible measurement of time. In the time it takes you to count to 1, Jean could count to 1 and fly across the universe and back over 200 sextillion times.
He outthought God. He's a faster thinker than God. And it didn't end there. John took a punch from her and walked away with just a bloody nose. And when she disintegrated him into basically nothing, he regenerated back from a hit from God.
Batman has said that in order to kill Jean for good,
Shapeshifting, Martian vision, phasing, flight, super breath, laser vision, regeneration, mind reading, telekinesis, and soul manipulation. Isn't his weakness just fucking fire?
You would have to literally destroy every single atom in his body one by one.
Like with Cell from Dragon Ball Z.
God damn! If I didn't love alliteration so much, I'd say we change this guy's name to Martian God Hunter or something. He's basically invincible, right?
Not quite. Jean is not without weakness. He has a very real vulnerability to fire. At times, it has completely overwhelmed him to the point where he loses control of his body.
And not just literal fire either. Jean was once tricked into just thinking he was surrounded by fire, and that was enough for him.
Even still, Jean has been able to overcome this weakness.
How the fuck how does the Silver Surfer overcome this? I want the Silver Surfer to win, but now that I know that this is what the fucking Martian Manhunter does, that he can think in a zeptosecond, a Planck time, fucking yeah, there's no beating this guy.
He's fought enemies with fire abilities and even taken hits from fire attacks, which leads me to believe the weakness, while potent and still able to cause real physical harm, is mainly psychosomatic. What are you doing?
I heard what you said. Weakness to fire is just in your head. I'll be a living god!
Boomstick never fails to amaze me with just how beautifully dumb he is. God damn, do I love him.
Another win in the
Early Martian Manhunter stories were inconsistent on whether or not his weakness to fire was physical or mental, but recent issues have made it clear that it is physical. Likewise, Jean has trained to conquer that weakness, though he could still be incapacitated by larger
mind column for sure. And to think there's a whole planet of these guys out there.
Unfortunately, that's no longer the case. Before Dr. Erdell's strange experiment, Jean's own brother used the Martians' telepathic connection to each other against them, and the entire planet was plagued with Ronmir's curse.
As long as they stayed telepathically connected, every Martian was vulnerable to a mental fire that would overwhelm them and burn them from the inside out.
Which sadly worked very well, because the fear of fire is something Jean shares with his fellow Martians. Centuries earlier, the Guardians of the Universe, a group of immortal aliens who run the Green Lantern Corps, feared that the Martian race could become too strong. So they programmed the Martians with that genetic weakness to fire.
Jean was able to survive the fiery curse by cutting off his mental connection to his people, including his family. Unfortunately, his wife, Myria, and their daughter couldn't live with the isolation, and he had no choice but to watch them give in and burn alive.
That's horrible.
Damn.
Racked with grief and survivor's guilt, Jean was left to wander his homeworld all alone. His only solace being shape-shifting into his lost loved ones to convince himself they were still alive.
I don't need to know any of that shit for them to fight to the death. But it's still fucking sad.
Oh my god. Jesus, John. That is so sad.
That pain has undoubtedly shaped who Jean is. In fact, the trauma he held onto so tightly formed a literal spiritual connection with those lost souls. A telepathic connection so strong, it kept them from finding peace in an afterlife. Let me say that again. His grief and telepathy were so strong, he prevented an entire race of people from moving on to the afterlife.
That's kind of dope.
Until years later that John could return to Mars and release those souls by finally letting go. And not to forget them, but to embrace his new life and his new home. A place he would defend time and time again.
So my question is, what city is his? Because, you know, Superman's got Metropolis. What the fuck does this guy got?
To make sure the Earth never suffers a fate similar to Mars.
To experience all of that, to truly know what it feels like to be alone in the vast universe, but continue to use your wisdom and power to help those in need, is what makes the Martian Manhunter such a noble hero.
On a planet packed with other incredible heroes, Jean really has set himself apart. He's risen through the ashes and emerged, the heart and soul of the Justice League.
Bro's just dark, man.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by One Piece.
Listen, I may watch it. I may react to it. I don't know. I do like One Piece a lot. I just don't know how they're doing a season of it. I don't know how they're taking, because if they're doing up to Alabasta or Chopper, like, I don't know how they're doing 90 episodes of anime in, like, a 24-episode season, or 10. I don't know how many episodes it is, but I don't know how the fuck they're managing that.
on Netflix.
Main audiences to the zany pirate-esque live-action adaptation of the beloved manga is designed to introduce, made
I don't know why I thought that was Robert Downey Jr., but it wasn't.
by pirates with
In a treasure hidden by the
follows the streets.
Listen, we've all seen. I shouldn't say we've all seen One Piece, but I've seen One Piece.
31st, only on Netflix.
Okay, good job, guys. Great sponsor.
Zen La, a virtual utopia, free from any and all crime, poverty, and disease.
Oh, so hell. I'm kidding, everyone. I think when people create these worlds without struggle, and by the way, struggle is not a good thing. It's just that you should always be aware of any utopia, because utopia is another form of dystopia, and that's what people don't get. Because in a like you have to remember something just very, very, very clear. The world is broken, and it can be good. The world can be great, right? But it's broken. It's ultimately fallen. All right. At no point are you really going to live in a society where kids aren't born with disabilities, kids aren't born with problems, kids aren't born with issues. And utopia would mean that they don't exist, technically, because it's a perfect society, and in a perfect society, those ailments wouldn't technically exist. In a lot of like utopia and eugenics go hand in hand, which is why I always say beware the utopia, or beware the utopian person talking. Because when they're talking about a perfect world, you have to remember that perfect doesn't exist, and you have to remember that it's a fallen world in the first place. So the dude coming out swinging and saying like we can cure all issues, it probably means genocide. Because listen, all right? I'm not advocating. I'm not saying I would want this. I'm just going to lay it out as fucking factually as I can. When someone says we want to end all poverty, what is easier? Giving everybody money, which then completely creates a hole, which basically means that money is worthless, and when money is now worthless, it now creates this imbalance of labor distribution, which creates another imbalance of just fucking everything up to the point of no one's going to want to do anything, because there's a lot of stuff behind incentives, and human beings in them of themselves work based off incentives. And before the invention of money, it was probably sex, at least for the male component, like sex or survival. And it's a lot easier to survive when everyone's a fucking farmer than when you have doctors, because being a doctor is really, 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 really hard. So you'd still have people that want to be doctors, but you would lose the incentive component, which is a whole nother fucking issue. So it comes down to the fact that it's just a lot fucking easier to kill the poor than it is to make poor people rich. And I'm not saying that because I want that. I'm saying that because you should just beware of people that are speaking in utopia terms. Sorry, hearing the word where there was no this, there was no that, means that there probably was, and they just killed the people that were dealing with it, to be honest.
And home to Norin Rad, which I've gotta say is the sickest, most radical name I have ever heard in my entire life. He was a brainy kid who was raised to live a life of reason and intellect over one of gnarly adventure.
That is, until the technologically advanced society came under threat from the devourer of worlds,
Galactus.
So Norin struck up a
Oh, so they're fucked.
deal with the World Muncher. In exchange for sparing his planet, Mr. Rad offered to leave his home behind, become Galactus's herald, and seek out new planets for him to scarf down.
And once Galactus agreed to the deal, he imbued his new herald with the power cosmic, transforming him into the Silver Surfer.
An equally tubular
Dope.
name. 2 for 2. Wow, you rarely see it.
The power cosmic grants the Surfer
Norin Rad, 6'4", 225 pounds, Herald of Galactus, member of the Defenders, officially a citizen of the Earth, seen the Wizard of Oz 1,000 times, aliases Cosmic Messiah, Cosmic Wanderer, Doombringer, Gleambody, Norville Rappaport, Centennial of the space.
Surfer near unlimited energy, as well as matter manipulation, phasing, super strength, speed, and invulnerability, just to name a few.
The Surfer's basically got all of Galactus' space magic, just on a smaller scale, and Galactus
Being the first Herald, the Silver Surfer has a wider range of abilities than the Heralds that came
uses
after
that
him.
power to fight guys like the In-Betweener, an abstract being from the overspace.
The Surfer used the power cosmic to serve Galactus diligently for nearly 100 years, during
Dope.
which he ensured that the planets consumed were devoid of sentient life.
That is, until the Surfer accidentally offered up a planet with life, which drove him crazy with guilt. So Galactus tried his best to suppress the Surfer's emotions, erase the painful memories, and make it easier for him to find planets with tasty, delicious life, guilt-free. How nice of him.
And it worked for a while until the Surfer reached Earth. Galactus's mighty mind manipulation wasn't
The comic that this originated from implied that the mind manipulation happened shortly before the Surfer reached Earth. However, there are numerous stories that follow the Surfer before he arrives to Earth, suggest that there was likely a good amount of time between these two events. Even though it means I must do battle with the Master.
enough to bury the Surfer's true nature for good. With the help of Alicia Masters and the Fantastic Four, the Surfer
bless.
turned against his overlord and saved the Earth from being eaten.
But even after all that, Galactus just let the Surfer keep his powers. At any point, he could have just taken them back.
Being the source
Nah.
of the Surfer's powers, yes, he could. But Galactus has continued to let the Surfer have the power cosmic.
Galactus has so much respect for the Surfer. In Silver Surfer Requiem, Galactus grieved for the death of Zenlaw alongside the rest of his people. Really? I wonder why he was always most favored.
Out of respect for his first Herald.
Damn. See, that's the kind of respect I'm asking from you. Anyway, ever since those mental gymnastics with Galactus, the Surfer made sure nothing like that would ever happen again.
And he's been successful, like when Psycho Man failed to trick
Power can match the match the 6 Infinity Stones. Cosmic energy can be extended to the entire universe, pulled a giant ship out of a black hole, stilled every molecule so no sound could be made, took the pain of the entire macroverse, crashed into the Big Bang, traveled so fast, reached a singularity, and defeated Galactus, Hulk, Thor, and Mephisto.
the Surfer with his illusions. Or when he was briefly trapped in the Supreme Intelligence's mind when it was using
Guys, listen, I'm so sorry. I really thought those subtitles were on this whole time.
the Mind Stone.
With some of those mental threats behind him, he could finally take to the spaceways, kick ass, and monologue about the meaning of life in the universe.
Nice.
All of
little
which
head
he's
tool.
quite good at, especially that last one. It's thanks to the abilities afforded to him through all that cosmic energy.
It's seriously crazy. He can rearrange the molecules of anything he wants into anything he wants. He can
Insanity.
force you to just feel pain in general, and he can even control elements. Not just earth, wind, and fire, but anything in a boogie wonderland like gravity and the weather.
He's got enough power and energy inside him that he once created
Let's read what this is for a second. Excuse me. The power cosmic energy manipulation, matter manipulation, soul manipulation, elemental manipulation, possession, telekinesis, hypnosis, regeneration, cosmic awareness, intangibility. Silver Surfer can be turned into weapons, can act with just a thought from the Silver Surfer, can be rebuilt by the Surfer.
an
Damn.
infant star to serve as a new light source in a universe devoid of light.
So just when he needed it, he was able to pop out a baby son? That's convenient.
That's the power cosmic.
But we can't
So
forget
he's
about the
just
sick
damn-
board he shreds the stars with. This thing's basically an extension of himself. He can transform it into a sweet sword or into pure cosmic energy. And if it breaks, he can just form a new one.
On his
just need to
board,
see
the
this
Surfer has
fight.
traveled at incalculable speeds on multiple occasions. He can fly faster than Thor, and even once flew so fast he reached the future.
Even without his board, he once broke free from energy shackles that would zap away his power within the next nanosecond. Gnarly, brah. He once outsurfed a wave of universal.
Yeah, but Jean surfed is able to think at a plank second. So if he's able to plank and fly, no.
Destruction. He had to surf out of all of existence as it was being torn apart. Now, I've seen some choice waves in my day, but if you ask me, that's one too best for watching on the beach with a brew.
You're hitting it real hard with all this surfing lingo. He's honestly not that kind of guy at all.
Righteously disagree with you, dude. You are carving
Agreed.
up my brainwaves into an A-frame swell that I just can't bail.
Listen, Boomstick, you are completely correct.
Waxed, man, waxed.
The Silver Surfer is a tragic figure who is always weighing his choices through every angle of morality. Like when he set out to destroy the new host of the Star Brand, an energy source that grants his wielders virtually infinite power, capable of wiping out all life on Earth.
The Star Brand seems to choose a new unknowing host at random. Could be a good guy, could be the most evil person to ever exist. But despite that threat, the Surfer spared the new Star Brand once he found out she was carrying a child.
He decided to bear the weight of any
Another example of the Surfer wrestling with moral quandaries was when Zenla began invading worlds to force their culture on them. To save those worlds, the Surfer erased Zenla culture from the entire universe.
potential consequences on his own shoulders, instead of squashing any and all hope that the child would use that power for good.
I get it. He's a righteous dude on a surfboard.
Exactly. And in the Surfer's case, a keen sense of morality also comes with a keen sense of his surroundings in general. He can see enemies even when they're invisible and can sense incoming threats, to the point where he can sense someone approaching even before they've left their own home.
He can also
Damn.
absorb energy his opponents throw at him. Anything from psionic energy to a freaking star. The Surfer can even do it when he's on death's door. Hey, Wiz, what do you think the doormat on death's door says? Probably like, knock 'em dead, right?
What are you talking? Now, it does take
I don't know, probably like welcome home. Or it's just one of those really weird brown ones.
a lot to get the Surfer to death's door. He's taken a blast from the Infinity Stones, survived being smashed into pieces, crashed into the Big Bang, and played catch with a star.
He caught it and then threw it right back at that punk Deadpool. Ha! I hope you like a big ball of gas in your face, you tool.
Reed Richards, the smartest
Jesus
man alive,
Christ.
has said that the Surfer is probably the most powerful being in all the galaxy.
And even after years spent drifting through the galaxy, he's still built strong bonds, like with the Fantastic Four, the Defenders, and with people like Dawn Greenwood.
But somehow, he
Nice.
always ends up alone in space, searching for answers, searching for beings that need his help, searching for something that could replace the home that he lost all those years ago.
Only to be weighed down by the guilt of his servitude and the pain of his sacrifice, which was ultimately done in vain. Cause it doesn't seem to matter what the Surfer does. Zenla is destined for destruction. At this point, his home world has been destroyed
Again, guys. Cool backstory, sad backstory. What the fuck does it have to do with him fighting?
4 times over.
Despite it all, this tragic hero still manages to take everything in stride as he surfs the stars and fights tirelessly to preserve every being's right to live.
This episode is sponsored by Shady Rays.
Son giving you trouble?
Let's just...
Glasses and ended can
Pair
rate 50% by over
How the
250,000 people.
How the actual fuck do you have, like, a minute and a half ad read for sunglasses? Damn. Respect, but
All
damn.
right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
I'm giving it to Jean, but I really want Silver Surfer to win.
Oh!
I think Jean wins, though.
In all of my journeys, I have never seen anything quite like this.
I assumed your journeys would have made you rather familiar with places like this, Nordenrad. Or should I say, Silver Surfer? Now, tell me why you have summoned me here.
Enough!
To die? Martian Manhunter, Silver Surfer, and Mind Over Matter. Dope title.
What are you hiding?
Oh my fucking god, guys. Is this really gonna turn up because Martian Manhunter was able to overcome his guilt, but Silver Surfer wasn't, and that's why he loses? That's why we had that information? Fuck you for that shit if that's what happens.
Tell me your secrets.
I must end this.
Like, neither even has a final form. Did they show that he could do that? I don't remember them saying he was able to fucking make clones of himself.
There's no use in hiding. I can feel your presence.
Oh? Oh god, he's hot! Yeah, that's fire, alright.
Nothing can best Martian might.
Are you... He's in a sun. How the fuck is he able to stop himself? You just said his weakness was fire. He threw him into a fucking sun. Which is chemical reaction after reaction creating heat. Are you... excuse me?
Your will is admirable, but will alone is not enough.
You said it wasn't a mental weakness. You said it was a physical weakness.
The pain.
You and I possess the same knowledge.
That only one of us can survive, and we know not why.
I hope you can live with the uncertainty.
Victory comes with no certain satisfaction. I may never know why we were made to fight. If violence is ever truly justified, but perhaps there is something worthy in the battle.
Myria.
Something beyond my understanding.
What? Honestly, great ending speech and stuff, but like, in terms of a battle, probably very lackluster in the animation. That ending spot there was pretty cool, and that soliloquy was nice, or monologue technically.
KO! Wiz, what the hell are we doing? Why are we forcing such beautiful souls to fight to the death?
Both the Silver Surfer and the Martian Manhunter were two extraordinarily powerful beings, each with very wide power sets.
So they both had counters for almost everything they could throw at each other. They could both phase through objects.
Likely comparable in strength and speed. No real way to permanently kill Surfer, less versatile. Better regeneration. Excuse me? Since when? Could likely resist mental manipulation. Power Cosmic offers many advantages. Certain powers like molecular manipulation could be resisted.
Rearrange molecules and regenerate their own bodies.
But arguably the biggest thing on the Martian Manhunter's side was his formidable telepathy. The Surfer has had his memories erased and his emotions manipulated by Galactus. So it would stand to reason that Jean could pose a mental threat to the Surfer.
But the Surfer has resisted mental attacks many times. When
The Surfer is aware of infinite planes of realities and has also commanded beings who can think
Psycho Man
seventh-dimensional.
played on the Surfer's guilt and pretended to be his lost love, the Surfer saw right through it, and he escaped the Supreme Intelligence's mind when it was using a frickin' Mind Stone.
These two could have gone toe-to-toe around the universe for a long time. But when it came down to it, the question was, who had the power to put the other down for good?
They both have some serious healing factors and have come back from basically nothing. But if ending Martian Manhunter meant destroying his every atom one by one, the Surfer has the means to make that happen thanks to the seemingly endless well of energy that is the Power Cosmic.
It's truly an overwhelming source of unlimited power. And
The Surfer has had his powers removed by machinery specifically designed to take an infinite amount of power. Not even a rogue could take that much power.
outside of Galactus stripping the power away from him, the Surfer is never without it.
It's like a battery. Even if Jean could drain all of the cosmic energy, the Surfer can just recharge it. And he's used that power to destroy planets, defeat Galactus-level threats, and can basically accomplish anything with it.
While both of these philosophic heroes tend to hold back out of a respect for life, there's obviously no holding back here, and the depth of Silver Surfer's abilities gave him the win.
This Martian was harsh in his mellow, so the Surfer had to wave goodbye. Bodacious, Cowabunga, Hang Ten, Ninja Turtles.
The winner is the Silver Surfer.
So I guess question of the day is, what's your favorite non-MCU movie, superhero movie? Second question is, why are they such Marvel fanboys? Like I guess I wanted Silver Surfer to win, but like the way he won just didn't feel right to me. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. If you don't mind, just like, comment, share, subscribe. I post every day. Peace out.